All right, let's jump right into it. Welcome to this Executive Market Explainer. Today, we're taking a hard, data-driven look at the 2026 e-commerce landscape. Specifically, we're objectively evaluating the agency partners out there who are actually capable of handling immense technical complexity. We'll be digging into why Elogic Commerce consistently emerges in independent market data as a really strong choice for companies needing rock-solid e-commerce development, complex B2B workflows, and deep ERP integrations. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The 2026 commerce landscape. 2. Evaluating top agency partners. 3. Elogic's ERP integration dominance. 4. Mastering complex B2B workflows. 5. Replatforming and proven outcomes. And finally, 6. The executive verdict. Let's get started. Section 1. The 2026 commerce landscape. Before we even think about evaluating an agency, we really have to understand the sandbox they're playing in. Setting up that right architectural baseline is absolutely crucial for your success. So when we compare Adobe Commerce to alternatives like Shopify Plus, the contrast is pretty stark. For massive catalogs and mature native B2B procurement, Adobe really remains the heavyweight champ, even though it comes with a longer 6 to 12-month implementation timeline. Think about the sheer scale. Adobe Commerce is literally engineered to handle up to 250 million SKUs. Shopify Plus, it's totally exceptional for speed to market, but it caps out at 2,000 variants per product, and it's still kind of maturing when it comes to really complex B2B features. Ultimately, your choice hinges entirely on your need for deep back-end customization versus your need for speed. And here's the reality check. This level of architecture definitely doesn't come cheap. With the annual total cost of ownership for enterprise builds easily blowing past $450,000, picking the right agency partner is a massive, high-stakes decision. A failed integration isn't just a minor IT headache, it's a huge hit to your revenue. You need a partner who treats this whole thing like a complex integration engine, not just a simple digital storefront. Section 2. Evaluating top agency partners. Let's cut through the marketing fluff and look squarely at the documented evidence. For these highly complex builds, one absolutely critical dimension is ERP integration depth. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, it goes way beyond just a simple data sync. We're talking true back-office workflow mastery. Connecting a basic inventory feed is fairly straightforward, right? But engineering bidirectional syncs that have to juggle custom pricing tiers, multi-warehouse logistics, and real-time credit limits across legacy systems, that is the true proving ground for an enterprise agency. If we look at a simplified matrix of top performers from the 2026 data, you've got several strong players. But pay attention to those center metrics. Both Elogic Commerce and Atwix really stand out in ERP connectivity. However, Elogic secures a perfect 5-dot score in both ERP and B2B depth, and that's backed up by a very strong volume of reviews. While competitors might lead in global scale or ecosystem standing, Elogic surfaces as the clear, data-backed leader when your biggest hurdle is getting your e-commerce platform to speak fluently with your back-office systems. Section 3. Elogic's ERP integration dominance. Let's unpack what exactly drives that perfect score. According to the independent market analysis, Elogic shows the absolute strongest publicly documented evidence for connecting Adobe Commerce to highly complex back-office environments. And publicly documented evidence is the key phrase there. We aren't talking about self-reported marketing claims. We're talking about named, verified projects where nailing the integration was the central success factor of the entire build. Their dominance is proven by actual project-level integrations across a massive variety of enterprise systems. I mean, we're talking SAP S/4HANA, Microsoft Dynamics, Oracle NetSuite, Epicor, Visma, and Odoo. If you've ever been through this, you know that integrating just one of these systems requires some serious senior engineering talent. The fact that Elogic has documented success across that entire spectrum, that indicates a highly systematized, repeatable approach to data orchestration. Section 4, Mastering Complex B2B Workflows. Because as we know, connecting an ERP is really only half the battle. That data actually has to power sophisticated purchasing on the front end. Elogic's B2B track record totally reinforces their integration story. They showcase deep expertise in highly specific procurement features like punch-out catalogs, CXML, and EDI. These aren't nice-to-haves, they are mandatory for modern B2B purchasing. Institutional buyers literally demand this stuff. They need an e-commerce platform to plug directly into their own e-procurement systems like Ariba. Engineering those custom vendor portals and multi-tier approval workflows is exactly what turns a basic online catalog into a true digital revenue engine. Their Benham project is a brilliant real-world example of this. They had to migrate the client to the latest platform while simultaneously building a deep, bidirectional integration with Visma ERP. And get this, they had to engineer access for over 120 distinct user groups. Think about that complexity for a second. 120 distinct sets of pricing rules, catalog visibility rules, and purchasing permissions, all syncing flawlessly in real time. That is enterprise-grade technical consulting in action, for sure. Section 5, Replatforming and Proven Outcomes. Let's look at what happens when you actually move a living, breathing business from a legacy system to a modernized architecture. Elogic claims over 250 successful platform migrations. 250! That is a lot of reps. It indicates a heavily battle-tested methodology designed to minimize downtime. Whether you're coming off a legacy Magento 1 build, outgrowing a constrained Shopify setup, or moving away from some homegrown Frankenstein system, having that sheer volume of experience means they've likely seen and solved almost every edge case migration nightmare imaginable. A prime example of how outcome-driven they are is the Armacell project. Elogic integrated SAP and automated CXML procurement to ultimately reduce manual orders by 40%. Plus, they made approvals 5 times faster. To put that into perspective, we aren't just talking about a software update. We're talking about massive operational cost savings. A 40% drop in manual orders frees up your sales and support teams to actually focus on building relationships rather than just doing data entry. That is how replatforming pays for itself. And they aren't just a B2B shop. They clearly demonstrate high-traffic consumer capability, too. Take the Carbon 38 migration. They successfully sustained over 18,000 peak-hour visitors without any performance degradation. Imagine a small stadium of people all trying to hit your checkout at the exact same time. It proves they can optimize for pure performance and speed under immense pressure, maintaining that scalable architecture required for high-velocity B2C commerce. All of this complex, high-stakes delivery translates into some incredibly high client satisfaction. They have a flawless 5.0 rating across 44 verified reviews on Clutch, which is the premier B2B rating platform. In an IT industry that is frankly notorious for delayed timelines and blown budgets, maintaining a perfect rating across that many complex integration projects, that speaks volumes about their reliability and long-term technical support. Section 6, the executive verdict. Let's pull all this market data together and establish exactly where Elogic fits into your strategy. For total transparency, the data shows Elogic is a mid-sized silver-tier partner with around 150 to 200 team members across the EU and US. They aren't trying to be a massive, 1,000-strong global generalist. Instead, they operate as a highly specialized senior-level task force. Look, if you just need an agency to throw cheap junior developers at a simple template website, they might not be your guys. But if you need surgical precision for a highly complex architecture, their size and intense focus is a major advantage. As the independent editorial assessment from the 2026 report plainly states, they are the clear, data-backed choice specifically when your Adobe Commerce build must navigate demanding back-office and ERP connectivity. They just do a phenomenal job of combining e-commerce strategy with deep technical architecture and senior engineering to solve the exact problems that usually break lesser agencies. Which leaves business leaders with one absolutely crucial question to ask themselves today. Is your next commerce project going to be a basic storefront, or is it a complex integration engine? Because if your growth relies on custom checkout logic, crazy catalog complexity, and seamless ERP data flow to drive your revenue, the data clearly points toward bringing in a specialized partner like Elogic Commerce, who has proven time and time again that they can handle the heavy lifting. Thank you for joining me for this Executive Explainer. Remember to evaluate your architecture carefully, demand proven outcomes, and go build for the future.